But I didn't press stop. I pressed record. I wasn't recording for 20 minutes while I talked. So here we are again. Let's do it again. I want to talk to you about a new editing style that's kind of taking over YouTube. And it's the style that I'm delivering this video in. And it's a style that I stumbled across about a month ago when I made my over 40 video, why I think people over 40 should start a YouTube channel. And I want to talk about that in this video, and it's something that I think you should consider. So what is this style? It's basically me sitting here in this chair without a script, without a teleprompter, and talking to the camera. So it's, in a nutshell, it's being authentic, but I want to expand on it a little bit more than that. So about a month ago, like I said, I made this video, and it was in a different style than I had been making my videos up until that point. I had a YouTube channel for about 3 years, and I was making videos. Actually, there was about a year and a half there where I wasn't making videos in that time. But for the last 6 months or so, I had kind of picked it back up, and I was making a lot of how-to videos, like how to edit videos. And things were going well. You know, things were starting to grow. I wasn't monetized yet, but that was coming. And in fact, that happened in, I think it was late May or early June, just a couple months ago. Finally got monetized. Yay. Yeah, growth was there, but it was not huge growth. Okay, so I think I had around 3,800 subscribers at the time. By the time late June rolled around. Then I switched gears and decided to make a video a little bit differently. So instead of scripting my intros, which I had been doing, because I wanted to deliver my intros really quickly, nice and tight, within 10 seconds, I want people to know what I'm about to talk about, so that I don't lose people, right? Retention. I want to keep people watching. So yeah, my videos were kind of faster paced in the beginning. And then I got into, showing the software and how to do whatever I was showing. And as long as you were there to learn that thing, you were probably going to stick around. So that style was fine for that kind of video. But when I made the pivot about a month ago and made this different kind of video, that video took off. Like it went nuclear. It went crazy. So, and by crazy, I mean, most of my videos would get 500 views maybe in the first day if it was doing well, maybe 1,000 views after day 2, if it was a good video. But this one, after 2 days, it had 30,000 views. And now a month later, it's over 300,000 views. So it really, really did well, and it's still doing well. So why? Why is that? And what I'm finding out, I'm not the only one this happened to. Okay, so I was a small channel. I'm still a small channel. But in a month, that video alone has grown, well, not alone, but that was the catalyst, has grown my channel from 3,800 subscribers to over 17,000 subscribers in less than 4 weeks. Okay, now not all subscribers came from that video. All the videos I've been doing since then have also been doing well. Not that well, but right. So all you need is one video for that to happen to, and then all of your other videos will kind of piggyback on that. Okay. So, but again, why did this happen? And near as I can tell, I was super authentic in that video. I was just being myself. I was just talking to the camera without a teleprompter, and I actually said that when I sat down to make that video. I said, I'm going to do this. I'm not comfortable doing this, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to give it my best shot. And in addition, I showed bloopers at the end about how hard it was for me to get started making that video and all of the mistakes I was making, the outtakes. And my cat Peanut was in the video, and people loved that too. So all of these things kind of together helped that video, and people related to it because I was being authentic, I was being real. They loved it, and it resonated with them, and they could see themselves in me when they try to make a video. They'd go through the same thing, like stumbling over their first couple of sentences, how they want to do the intro of their video. And it's hard. It really is hard. If you sit down in front of a camera like this and you're not used to it, it is so easy to just freeze up. That's what happens to me. Now, I'm doing this more and more. Almost daily, I'm in front of the camera like this making videos. And the more you do it, the easier it does get. But that first one, well, it wasn't the first time I had ever done that. I had tried it about a year ago, but it wasn't nearly as good. But the one I did this year was, people loved it, and again, it was being authentic. So the next, I've got some bullet points here that I'm referring to. So that was the first one. The second one is the editing. Okay, there was virtually no editing that I did in that video. So less editing, and there's a couple advantages to that. Number one, it shows that you can make mistakes, right? And that you're more human, and that you're more like the people who are watching your videos if you just leave your mistakes in there. But also, if you're kind of a beginner YouTuber, then less editing is great if you're not a great editor, right? There's less of it you have to do because I don't know how much you've gotten into the editing process, but it can be extremely time consuming if you're not used to it. It can be very complicated, but it doesn't have to be. So if you leave your editing to a bare minimum, and that means no jump cuts. If you're not sure what a jump cut is, it's basically when you cut out all your mistakes and squeeze all the good parts together, then it kind of jumps around a bit, but the message is tighter. Those are jump cuts. But, they're obvious, right? It's obvious when people are putting jump cuts in. And I just think that people aren't as into that anymore, and they're more looking for real people trying to deliver messages on YouTube in the videos. So yeah, less editing means it'll take you less time to make the videos, and the people like them better is what I'm finding out. So the last thing I want to mention is in making videos like this, it's showing that you're vulnerable. You're being vulnerable. I'm being vulnerable in these videos, in that people could very well be making fun of me, right? Because I'm messing up. I'm saying and ah a lot. I know I do that. I try not to, but I do. So I'm just leaving them in. And if somebody wants to make fun of me about that, then go for it. I'm going to laugh right alongside you because it is funny. I'm not a professional TV host or video host or anything like that. That's not my background. This is starting as a hobby for me. I'd like it to grow into something more than that eventually. That's the plan. But I'm giving it my best shot, and not professionally trained in this at all, and showing you that you can do it too. So I'm being vulnerable, and again, I'm kind of packaging all that vulnerability up into bloopers and showing it to you at the end of the video. That's what I've been doing as well lately. So and people love that. They're loving the bloopers is what I'm finding out. Especially when you have a cat in them. They love the cat, probably more than me. But so not only am I being vulnerable, I'm highlighting my vulnerabilities, if that makes sense, right? I'm basically putting a spotlight on them and saying, here, look at me. This is how silly I'm being, trying to make a good video and messing up all over the place. But that's okay. I'm having fun with it, and hopefully you see that, and hopefully you can learn from that you don't have to be perfect either. Have fun making videos. Don't let trying to be perfect stop you from making videos. And even when you think your video could have been better, don't redo it. Just save it, upload it to YouTube, and off you go. Move on to making your next video. And that's it. But please make sure you press record. and I don't mean so like the great Sean Cannell says at Think Media, you got to just press record. You really do. I did not. And I delivered this whole video talking to a camera that was not recording. I did capture the audio, but yeah, so wow, I was not happy when I noticed that. Got up, pressed stop, but it wasn't stop, it was start. So anyways, I'm not going to let that happen again. I hope you liked this video. If you have any comments or suggestions, then leave them in the comments below. Love to hear them. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'd love that. So does the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye. I forgot to press record. Hey, guys. Hey guys, I'm about to lose my mind. Oh. Hi guys. I want to talk to you about the new editing style that's kind of taking over YouTube. Hi, my name is Rob, and I want to talk about this new editing. Oh, Jesus. Hi, I want to talk to you about the new editing style. This new. Hi, guys. Hey, guys. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about this new editing style that's kind of taking over YouTube. And I stumbled across it about a month ago. Hey guys. Yep. Hey guys, Rob here. So I just sat here like an idiot, speaking for 20 minutes, recording the audio. It was awesome. And I got up and pressed stop on the camera, but I didn't press stop. I pressed record. I wasn't recording for 20 minutes while I talked and thought I made a really good video. So here we are again. Let's do it again. Yay. Thank you. Oh, no. Yeah. Okay.